Stubblefield basement renovation project commenced in the summer of 2004 in the small bungalow at 144 Murdoch Avenue. It would take nearly a year to completely finish the project. For 11 years, the basement was used only as a place for storing rarely used items and as a haven for the ghosts of the house.
I put plastic. Moisture out. Computers and things. Some clothes. That was me reaching for the light.
In the year 2000, the family embarked upon a project of renovating a single room of the basement into a new housing for Mule Boot Recording Studios. The room was well used over the years, and while the equipment changed, the room managed to hold up. But while the area served as a music room, it also served as the entertainment room, which eventually began to present a problem. The small grew big, and soon everyone wanted more space to spread out. As with most building projects, we begin our story with just plain old dirt. And a lot of it. Before actual renovation could begin, there were two primary objectives. Number one, find a new storage area for items previously inhabiting the basement, and number two, to excavate the huge pile of old dirt in the back of the basement. Fortunately, both objectives could be killed with one stone.
We thought that we would dig a big hole where we were going to put the shed and move the dirt out of that over across the yard, and then excavate the dirt out of the basement and fill up that hole, and then put the concrete slab over that, and then build the shed on top of it. So we had to dig the hole first, and Nick did that. He dug a hole that was so deep that he could stand in it and just look over the rim of it out into the yard. The dirt in the basement was very hard, some of it. Some of it was loose, but basically it was dirty dirt. It was full of old coal and clinkers and junk, bones. So Nick did most of the shoveling of the dirt and hauling it all the way from under the front porch all the way to the very back of the lot. I did some of it. Helped me to pass a kidney stone, and because I was drinking a lot of water and moving a lot.
Nick worked tirelessly many hours of his summer simply moving dirt around using only a shovel, a pickaxe, and a wheelbarrow. But his hard work was not to be in vain. A hand-built shed would be constructed by Jerry. After most dirt was excavated, 10-foot by 10-foot forms were constructed for the concrete floor.
A man and his mud pie.
The next task was a solid foundation. A third-party concrete pourer was hired. The next task was smoothing. Next, wall skeletons were constructed and nailed to the hardened base. Here's the complete skeleton. Strong plywood with an attractive texture was used for the walls of the building. An even sturdier plywood was used for the roof. The lazy days dragged on. Plastic green roofing was added for protection and to help blend the shed with its surrounding environment. Next came molding and building doors from scratch, which involved lots of tedious work. It was Nick's idea to install plexiglass as window lights above and across from the door. Finally, the structure was painted the color greenstone and a ramp was built. The final result was fantastic. With storage problems now out of the way, it would become easier for Nick and Jerry Stubblefield to begin brick repointing. This slow and tedious process involves mixing mortar and carefully filling cracks in the walls. A full repointing did not seem necessary, especially considering that the basement walls are outlined in hundreds of bricks, so only major areas were repointed. After a full clearing and relocating of basement items, it was time to prepare for a brand new floor. Several things stood in the way of this. Walls dating back nearly a century had to be removed before a new slab of concrete could be poured for the floor. Next came an extreme cleanup of the whole area. Next, all the walls were thoroughly sprayed and cleaned with detergent. A high-powered air compressor was used to dust every crease and crevice on the walls. The next phase of the project was soon underway. The previous basement floor had always been a mystery. It was neither concrete nor dirt, and it certainly was not level. The next task was to hire concrete pourers and smoothers. First, wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow of gravel was loaded inside the basement. On the second day, the concrete was poured and smoothed all the way into the night, and then coated with foul-smelling sealer. It also created a slight problem with the height of our back door. The results were very nice and made the seemingly huge renovation project seem that much simpler of a job to do. Before continuing construction any further, the construction site was cleared of the looming pile of garbage. Sam was the man to haul it off. Secondly, a new door frame was cut and a hand-built set of stairs was constructed for easy access from the outside of the house. When Jerry Stubblefield embarked upon the project, he planned to ensure that the entire construction was done up to building code. This task was easier said than done. After obtaining the building permit from the city, Jerry sat down to read through the guidelines. What he experienced was a complete befuddlement. He knew he could now never complete the project without professional help.
Yeah.
For wall and a large portion of ceiling construction, Joe and Larry provided the skill needed for the next stage of the project. While the big boys completed the wall skeletons, Jerry Stubblefield worked away at other tasks, like the preparation of an antique sink. Jerry also helped with construction as much as possible. Primary skeleton construction neared completion. Right under the ceiling, skeletons were installed that would eventually hold spotlights and even out the ceiling. Plumbing and electricity were two tasks that the Stubblefields were not trained for, so they hired professional help. Plumbing included the new bathroom, laundry, and the sink for the kitchen facilities. When it came to electricity, John Creighton was the man. John worked only after he finished a full day at his regular job, so often he was working without light. John kept Jerry busy, helping alongside with various tasks, including running wire and cutting holes. Here you see the hole for the bathroom fan being cut through over 6 inches of solid wood with a hole saw.
4-inch what? Hole saw? Oh.
John provided the lights and fan that would be installed after ceiling construction was complete. Insulation was one of the key factors in keeping to the building code. All walls and the ceiling under the front porch had to be thoroughly insulated. Even beneath the bathroom floor, insulation was placed as a vapor barrier. The insulating involved the work of Larry, Joe, and Jerry because it was a time-consuming process. The insulation had to be measured, sliced, and stapled into place. The full 6 inches of insulation would not only help provide heating and cooling, but also provide a sound barrier between neighbors for those loud music rehearsals. The completion of the process meant that an even more exciting phase of the renovation was about to begin. Primary sheetrocking was a job left to Joe and Larry. The white spots are where putty or mud was placed for smoothness. Nick and Jerry kept the trusty minivan on regular trips to Lowe's to pick up sheetrock and supplies. This special tool was used for lifting heavy pieces of sheetrock up to the ceiling. A special waterproof green board was placed for any area dealing with water. With sheetrock in place and mudded, a new tedious process began. Joe and Larry's work was complete, so the task of sanding and smoothing the sheetrock began. While the mud did appear to be some sort of cheese, it was probably not healthy to eat. The sanding was incredibly exhausting and time-consuming, not to mention messy. Nick was assigned the job of custodian after each day of sanding. Laundry ventilation was run behind the wall of the new broom closet. The walls in the largest rooms of the basement were primed with white and then painted with Whittle marmalade paint. The former music room and soon-to-be guest bedroom and office was painted periwinkle, and the new bathroom was painted a fresh meadow green. The ceiling for the remaining portion of the basement was suspended tile held on wires. Professional help was hired for this task as well. The completed ceiling added a finished look to the whole area. Perhaps the greatest feat performed by Jerry was the construction of a handmade bar table. The top of the bar was made shiny. New carpet was professionally installed in Cindy's new office and spare bedroom. The most exciting phase of the basement renovations was about to begin. The Stubblefield family began making themselves at home with new furniture, including a new bed for the spare bedroom. Sam came back for a second and final trip, which was a relief to the whole family and the neighbors. Cindy and Phoebe began organizing the new office, and furniture got moved in.
We also needed a second bathroom. We have one small bathroom in the house, so now we have a large old-fashioned bathroom down here with a comfortable tub in it, lots of room. Phoebe goes in there and sits at the vanity and, you know, can curl her hair for hours on end or whatever she wants to do.
Today, the basement is comfortable and spacious. It contains a space for Lightning's guitars. It contains a den-like space with a comfortable couch and a chair and a stage for performance.
We've had performances on the stage, and people can sit on the couch and in chairs out in the studio and watch what faces the stage. We designed it like that so we could have performances in here too.
It has a kitchenette for eating on the bar or on the deck outside. The end of the journey has come at last. Thank you for joining us. Y'all come see us anytime.